The key is to bonk them in just the right spot with a 10-ton crystal. Oh, my joints will be hurting later tonight. Anywho, you look like you're new around these parts. Welcome, Uplander. I'm Honeypelt. You're an Uplander, aren't you? You've gotten yourself into quite the bind. Would you like some help?
Yes,
Well,
please.
aren't you just the most aromatic
To
thing?
say you smell lost is an understatement.
Always be prepared for monsters.
Ain't nothing to be afraid of down here. I mean, except the big old deep flayers, and the killer snails, and the poisonous spoil bats. Maybe the falling rocks too, but those aren't a problem if you can burrow in the dirt.
I can't wait to smell your
Have you seen these
invention.
deep flayers before? Well, of course you have. You were almost eaten by one. They're getting a little too cozy for me and my people's settlement here, and need to be dealt with. Inside the cave, outside the cave, they're all over the place. That's why I came here in the first place. Since I can tell we'll be rambling around with each other for a bit, why not give me a hand?
Sniff out good escape route.
We're smelling real down here and there, kid. Can't imagine what you've been through to end up here. Well, it don't matter. Renifin ain't the sort to leave anyone behind, especially not people who are about to be served up as a deep flayer's snack. This master sniffle and snout of mine can smell you didn't come down here to our Zaralek Cavern alone. What say we get you out of those crystals and find your friends?
Good luck hunting, don't worry. I've got excellent control of my claws. It's my eyesight that's never been good. There you go, Uplander. What say we go find those friends I smell on you? You smell full of adventure. Shouldn't be a problem. They may be out of sight, but very little escapes this nose. Not here. Can you deal with these deep flayers? I'll need the space to sniff out where your friend is.
Got a little snuffling animation and everything.
Oh no! Your friend was dragged off by a deep flayer. This way. Not here either. Just more deep flayers. Take care of them so they can't bamboozle my sniffer. Oh, I got it now. Your friend spends a lot of time trying to smell nice, doesn't he?
Bet that's Raffin she's talking about.
Oh, there we go. Smells like spices and expensive oils, with just a note of flap sweat underneath.
Champion, get me out of these blasted crystals. They are blocking my ability to transform. Behind you, those foul creatures are back.
Just relax and let your friend leave.
Thank you, my friend. I normally do not fall prey to such creatures. I just expected more after listening to you boast about how you slew Nazoth single-handedly. It was a team effort, something you are incapable of understanding.
We are the Black Dragonflight. That means something. Neltharion would never have fallen to such a foe.
Comparing yourself to Daddy Dearest? You have shown your true colors if that is your aspiration.
Father? Wait. Father. Yes. I knew that relic back there looked familiar.
Are you walking away from me? two can play at that game. If you need me, champion, seek me over there.
Those two remind me of my cousins. They couldn't stand each other either. I'd use them to flush out bone spiders with their bickering. Well, Uplander, I could use some assistance. I figure since I saved your sniffer, least you could do is help me with some hunting. Hello, Uplander.
You seem like a rough and tumble sort. I like you. I mean, you smell weird to me, but I still like you.
I can't wait to smell.
Told you we'd sniff out your companions, though it seems like they're carrying a lot of dirt on their backs. The figurative kind, I mean. Anyway, if you're willing to pay back the favor of me rescuing you, I've still got some business here.
Well, there is a familiar scent.
Did you make friends with any of the flayers? Just kidding, that was a joke. Please don't try to do that unless you want to become some swooper's tasty snack.
Good luck hunting beasts.
I didn't just come all the way out here to save your sniffers, you know. The deep flayers are vicious and stubborn, like obsidian ore. We've tried to lead them from our town by leaving out food and such, but they're all too keen to attack our sparrow caravans. It's the big un ruling over them that'll be trouble. You want to pay me back? It's you, me, and your cologne-scented friend hunted down together. I've got the perfect bait we can use too.
Sniff out, good escape route. Well, let's get going. I've got the most stinky bait. It'll be perfect.
Before we start, I know my relationship with Sibelian is certainly strained, but our behavior back there was out of line. I think it is this place. Something out there is testing my mental defenses, worming its way through my mind and keeping my teeth on edge. I will speak to Sibelian about the outburst in my own time. Things are never simple with him. You both have my apologies.
You boys just need to sniff it out. Words can hurt, but the nose never lies. Well, it does if we set a trap with these chunks of meat. The big and deep flayer we're after will be lured into our ambush by the smell.
Trap is set. Just need to make sure we're not in the middle of casting when he does that roll.
I am definitely getting too old to do this solo. Let's take a breath and regroup. Well, aren't you just the most aromatic
Ish,
thing?
certainly wasn't no lack of fight in that one, was there?
Ah, you did a good job with that big fella, Uplander. Why don't I show the cologne wearer here how to dress a deep flayer?
I'll have you know, I am quite the outdoorsman. I could prepare this fellow with my eyes shut.
Is there something you wish to discuss?
By my scales, I needed that win. That blasted incarnate swatted us like flies did a number on my ego, and I assume Sibelian feels no different. As infuriating as I find his lack of humour, groaning voice, and ugly shoes, I would ask that you check in on him. He is still family after all, and I do not wish him to become dinner to these deep flayers. Meet Honeypelt and I outside these dreadful nests when you meet up with Sibelian.
The Black Dragonflight will be redeemed.
This certainly looks like one of Father's gadgets. Tell me of Azeroth.
I could hear you and Raffians yelping from all the way over here. If you have finished with all that, why not take a look at this, Dirty Dude?
I am the future of the Black Dragonflight.
Look closely, Dirty Dude. You see this odd chunk of metal in the deep flame muck? I've felt my head swimming since we arrived in these caverns. I thought it was just the ceaseless prattling of our whelp Raffian, but this object here may prove otherwise. I will continue my efforts to unlock this relic's secrets. Seek out similar pieces in the nearby caves. A dark theory is emerging, though we will need more information before I am willing to confirm it.
My return was absolutely...
Wait, champion. Before you go, I feel I must apologize. My temper got the best of me a moment ago. In truth, I reminded myself of my father in that moment. But that is not who I am. Something about this place is causing me to lose focus and become distracted. That is how Farok was able to defeat us so easily. I will not let that happen again. Rathian, as brash a fool as he is, did not deserve my ire. Neither did you. Please forgive my reaction and let us continue as companions.
So here is the first one. This relic has clearly been mauled by the deep players. You take what parts of it still seem undamaged for civilian to find useful. There's a Sundered Flame Scout here as well. A dead Sundered Flame Scout. Judging by the slimy residue, they were no doubt surprised by a family of aggressive Zaralek snails. While investigating the nearby relic, other scouts may have been luckier than this one. We must inform our Black Dragon companions that Sakharov is likely underground too. Even worse, he may know the secret of these relics. Sundered Flame Scout lays dead, slain and feasted on by the nearby beasts. Their hand rests on a conspicuous button connected to the relic.
I can't let the experiment loose up this upper. I broke my promise.
You prod, but the relic seems inactive. You eventually reveal a small slot. Within the slot is a series of buttons, each with a unique symbol. Civilian will want to know about this.
And you are?
Dead scout for the Sundered Flame near one of the relics? That is no coincidence. Abyssian told us they were pursuing clues left by Father. I must admit that this relic and the ones you described finding look quite familiar to me. Familiar and familial. It stirs my insides.
We are not bound by the shadows of our...
Ah, perfect. Thank you, champion. These spare parts are just what I need. And a hidden slot with buttons, you say? Ah, here it is. The faded symbols on the buttons. They are draconic. Oh, what is this now?
My ambitions were far greater than my capacity to control what I had created. Oh, Aberrus, my beloved laboratory. I must leave you to the dust and ruin of these caverns. May my kin never find what I have attempted here.
Father, what is Aberrus? What horrors have you unleashed upon us this time?
You seem...
Father, is there no end to your senseless schemes, your very presence? Even now I can feel you cackling at me from beyond the grave.
I will claim my
It would
rightful
seem there is
place.
truly no end to Father's secrets. I must have time to think on this. Meet me in Loam, where Honeypelt hails from. She offered us respite there while you were still in the cave. I would only ask that you check on Rathian. He may be a ceaselessly buzzing pest, yes, but these recent events force me to admit I care for his well-being too. There are only so many black dragons left. We must look out for each other.
We are not bound.
Take care. I will wait for you along the path to this Honeypelt's home. Aberrus. Father, what have you done down here?
meet again, champion.
Is that depressing lump of mood Sibelian alright? What? I care enough to at least ask about him.
Learn from the past. Look to the future.
I smell you weren't a bad sort from the start. A little sweaty, but not a bad sort. Consider this your personal invitation to Loam, home of the Niffin. Let's all meet just outside the entrance. That way I can give you and your pals the proper Niffin welcome.
Good luck hunting beasties. We'll be eating good tonight. Young man, would you help an elder carry this ton of meat to her wagon just outside the nests?
It would be my pleasure. Are these deep flayers what your people normally eat?
Oh no, the opposite usually. But someone needs to go and fight the horrors that prey on the people of my town.
A dead-sundered flame was in those nests? It never ends, does it? The flame we can handle, what it would seem thereafter, perhaps not so much.
You smell full of adventure.
You ready for the greatest city under the sunny ground? We're ready to enter Loam.
I can't wait to looks like the uplanders you were waiting for have already settled in with us. Told you the Niffin were hospitable.
Welcome to Loam, Uplander, our shining smell of a city. Orantia is the name. I'm the High Redolence around here, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm the leader. It also means I'll be protecting my people from all the trouble that's broken on through from above. But you know what? We've got time for all that later. Vissian and Emberthil have already filled me in, so why not take a second to rest up on a soft patch of dirt?